and so well organized. He added to himself, remembering Smudge's lured tales and wildcats wreaking terror in the forest. You see now why prey is so precious, meowed Lionheart. Why we must fight to protect what little we have. But that seems so foolish. Why can't the clans work together and share their hunting grounds instead of fighting each other? Firepaw suggested boldly. A shocked silence greeted his words. Tigerclaw was the first to reply. That is treacherous thinking, Kitty Bet, he snapped. Don't be too fierce, Tigerclaw, warned Lionheart. The ways of the clans are new to this apprentice. He looked at Firepaw. You speak from your heart, young Firepaw. This will make you a stronger warrior one day, Tigerclaw growled. Or it might make him give in to Kitty Pet weakness right at the moment of attack. Lionheart glanced briefly at Tigerclaw before he continued. The four clans do come together peacefully in a gathering each moon year. He bent his head toward the four mighty oaks below, is where they meet. The truce lasts for long as the moon is at his for as long as the moon is at its fullest. Then there must be a meeting very soon, Firepaw suggested, remembering how bright the moonlight had been the night before. Indeed there is, answered Lionheart, sounding impressed. Tonight, in fact, the gatherings are important because they allow the clans to come together in peace for one night, but you must understand that longer alliances bring more trouble than they're worth. It is our clan loyalty that makes us strong, Tigerclaw meowed in agreement. If you weaken that loyalty, you weaken our chances of survival. Firepaw nodded. I understand, he meowed. Come on, meowed Lionheart, standing up. Let's keep moving. They paced along the ridge of the valley where four trees stood. Now they're heading away from the sun as it begins to sink in the afternoon sky. They cross the stream at the place where it is narrow enough to leap over in one jump. Firepaw sniffed the air. A new cat scent touched his mouth, glanced strong and sour. Which clan is that? He asked. The Shadow Clan, asked Tigerclaw grimly. We are traveling along their border. Keep your wits about you, Firepaw. Fresher scents mean that the Shadow Clan patrol is in the area. As Firepaw nodded, he heard a new noise. He stiffened, but the other cats kept up their pace, headed straight for the ominous rumbling. What's that? He called, trotting to catch up with him. You'll see in a moment, replied Lionheart. Firepaw peered through the trees ahead. They seemed to be getting thinner, letting in a broad band of sunlight. Are we at the edge of the woods? He asked. Then he stopped and took a deep breath. The green forests were overlaid with other strange dark smells. This time it was not cat scent, but an odor that reminded him of his old two-legged home, and the rumbling was getting louder, a ceaseless roar that made the ground tremble and ache in Firepaw's ears. This is the Thunderpath, meowed Tigerclaw. Firepaw followed as Lionheart led them toward the edge of the forest. Then he sat down and all four cats looked out. Firepaw could see a great path like a river cutting its way through the forest. The hard gray stone stretched ahead of him so far. The trees looked middle of the line seemed burnt and tiny. Firepaw shuddered at the bitter smell that rose from the path. Next moment his eyes to the ground. Tiger Claw's a bit grumpy today, Greypaw whispered into Firepaw's ears. Lionheart glanced at his apprentice sternly and announced, "Today we are going to practice stalking. There is a huge difference between creeping up on a rabbit and creeping up on a mouse. Can any of you tell me why?" Firepaw had no idea, and Ravenpaw seemed to have taken Tiger Claw's comment to heart, and he was holding his tongue. "Come on," snorted Tiger Paw impatiently. It was... Whoa, sorry. It was Greypaw who answered, "Because a rabbit will smell you before he sees you. But a mouse will smell your steps to the ground before he even smells you." "Exactly, Greypaw, so you must bear in mind when hunting mice. Step lightly," Firepaw suggested. Lionheart looked at him approvingly. "Quite white, Firepaw. You must anchor your weight into your haunches so that your paws make no impact on the forest floor. Let's try it." Firepaw went. Greypaw immediately dropped into his stalking crouch. "Nicely done, Greypaw," Lionheart, as the two apprentices began to move forward stealthily. "Keep your rear down." "Firepaw, you look like a duck," spat Tiger Claw. "Nice, you try it, Firepaw." Firepaw crouched down and began to creep across the forest floor. He felt himself fall instinctively into the right position, and he stepped forward as silently and lightly as he could. He felt a glow of pride that his muscles responded so smoothly. "Well, it's obvious you've known nothing but softness," growled. Tiger Claw. "You stalk like a lumbering kitty pet. Do you think dinner is going to come and lie down in your food dish and wait to be eaten?" Firepaw sat up quickly as Tiger Claw spoke, a little taken aback by his harsh words. He listened carefully to the warrior, determined to get everything right. His pace and forward movement would come later, but his crouch is perfectly balanced. Lionheart pointed out mildly. "Well, which is better than Ravenpaw, I suppose," complained Tiger Claw. He cast a scornful look at the black cat. "Even after 2 months of training, you're still putting all your weight on your left side." Ravenpaw looked more dejected, and Firepaw couldn't stop himself from pointing out his injury is bothering him, that's all. Tiger Claw went in that direction and glared at Firepaw. "Injuries are a fact of life. He should be able to adapt. Even you, Firepaw, have learned something this morning. If Ravenpaw picked up things as quickly as you, he'd be able to credit to me instead of an embarrassment. Imagine being shown up by a kitty pet." He spat angrily at his apprentice. Firepaw felt his fur prickle with discomfort. He couldn't meet Ravenpaw's eyes, so he looked down at his paws. "Well, I'm more lopsided than one-legged badger," meowed. Greypaw, breaking off from his careful stalking to stagger comically across the clearing. "I think I'll have to settle for hunting stupid mice. They won't stand a chance. I'll just wander up to them and sit on them until they surrender." "Concentrate, young Greypaw. There is no time for jokes," meowed Lionheart sturdily. "Perhaps you might focus your mind better if you tried out your stalking for real." All 3 apprentices looked up pridefully. "I want each of you trying to catch a real prey," meowed Lionheart. "Ravenpaw, you look beside the owl tree. Greypaw, there might be something in that big bramble patch over there. Then you, Firepaw, follow the rabbit over the rise, and you'll find the dry bed of Winter Stream. You may come across something there." The 3 apprentices bounded away, even Ravenpaw finding some extra energy for this challenge. With the blood mounting in his ears, Firepaw crept slowly over the sun. Sure enough, his team bound through the tree ahead of him in a leaf fall. He guessed it could carry the water away from the forest and into the great river that cut through the River Clan territory. Now it was dry. Firepaw crept quietly down the bank and crashed on its sandy floor. He even set on fire with tension. Silently, he scanned the empty stream for signs of life. He wanted for any tiny moment, his mouth open so he could pick up the small scents in his ear. His ears twisted forward. Then he smelled mouse. He recognized the odor, instantly remembering his first taste the night before. Wild energy merged through him, but he remained motionless, trying desperately to pinpoint the prey. He strained his ears forward until he picked up a rapid pulsing of a tiny mouse heart. Then a flash of brown caught his eye.